These two right here, absolutely electric. Supposedly the two faces of the NBA. Passing the throne to these two. But who's better? Who's the better NBA superstar? Anthony Edwards or Ja, aka 12? So who the best? We're gonna break it down today and we're gonna get into it. Both extremely exciting, athletic ability out of this world, and we'll put butts in the seats. Let's get into the video. First, we got Ja Morant. Career stats at the bottom: 22.5 points per game, 7.4 assists per game with 4.8 rebounds. Now, Ja has been very promising from the start. Also had his best season in 2022 with 26.2 points per game with 8.1 assists per game, averaging almost 6 rebounds. Very promising start to his career. Then you got Ant-Man. Career stats: 22.9 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game with 4.1 assists per game. So he's also off to a very identical, promising start as well as Ja Morant. Best season coming this year with 25.9 points per game, 5.4 rebounds per game with 5.1 assists per game. So definitely promising starts to both careers and both very identical in stats. Now we're going to get into some accolades. So Ja Morant has won Most Improved Player of the Year, a two-time All-Star, and also won Rookie of the Year. We definitely can understand why he's such hype, why everyone is so tuned in, why everybody loves to watch Ja Morant, because he is extremely exciting and could possibly win an MVP. And for Ant, has been in the league a very short amount of time, has 2 All-Star appearances in 4 years, only to be beat out by Rookie of the Year LaMelo Ball. Now let's get into some pros and cons. Ja is a terrific, great athlete and a very good playmaker. As you've seen, as his best year, he averaged 8.1 assists and almost 6 rebounds. As for cons, Ja can be a streaky shooter sometimes and very forceful offensively. So if things aren't going the greatest offensively, I feel like he can force a lot of times, and his jump shot isn't very consistent. As well as everyone has cons to their game. Let's get into the pros of Ant-Man. Also a great athlete, can wham on you if he get in the lane, and is a 3-level scorer. If you do not know what a 3-level scorer is, which means he can score inside the paint, mid-range, and can shoot the 3 ball. He is a very talented scorer. Cons are, he just takes tough and bad shots sometimes, can be inefficient sometimes, and I feel like he's a decent playmaker, but he could be much better and getting his teammates more involved. Has been much better at that this year and will continue to probably get better. Now let's get into what we came to this video for. Ja Morant reminds me so much of Derrick Rose. His slashing ability and ability to get into the paint and make things happen. Definitely reminds me of prime Derrick Rose. As for Anthony Edwards, comparison to me, he just reminds me so much of Dwayne Wade. Craftiness, explosive, everything. But a lot of people feels like he's Michael Jordan Jr. with the mentality, just the whole makeup, and I definitely can see that. I definitely can see that from a mile away. But let's lock in, guys. Who do you think is the better NBA superstar? What young talent do you think is better? Well, let's get into it. Ja, explosiveness out of this world, as well as what we talked about already. And explosiveness out of this world also. Josh also had a lot of trouble on and off the court lately, so he hasn't been playing lately. This is where Anthony Edwards has taken off at. He's definitely put the league on notice, definitely since the playoffs started, showing us he can be that guy. Anthony Edwards is now the number one option. Most will say, Ja been doing this. Ja just did the same thing Ant did a couple years ago. Well, you're right. I've been hearing a lot of chatter. How can you forget about Ja? How can you forget about everything that he's done so far? Well, my question to you guys is, did he think about that before he did the things he's done? You know what I'm saying? That's a part of also being a great. You also do have to be available. And Ant showed on so many levels he wants to play this game. He wants to take this game serious. And not saying that Ja doesn't want to take this game serious. I'm 1000% sure he does. But a lot of bonehead mistakes cause him not to play. And which is part of being a leader. Which is part of being a part of the Kobe's, the LeBron James, the Michael Jordans. They want to play every single game. They want to be there for their team. And that's why I feel like Ant excels at in the leadership role. Let's also break down their games. If we're using the eye test, what is Ja so much better than Ant at? What can Ja do that Ant can't do? I will definitely give Ja the playmaking ability over Ant, but it's not that far off. What pops out about Ja the most is his athletic ability. He can dunk on most, finish in the lane. But ever since I've been watching Anthony Edwards, he can do the same thing. They're both so good at it. They're both so good when it comes to the paint and being crafty in the paint, that I could also go as far as to say, who's better? Who's the better slasher? You really can't say. I definitely think Ant is a way better jump shooter than Ja Morant. He definitely has that. Can shoot the mid-range. I know Ja has a nice little floater. And Ja can knock down a couple of threes and knock down a couple of mid-range too and get in there, shoot you a floater. But when it comes to jump shooting and jump shots and the three ball and mid-range, Anthony Edwards definitely has a deeper bag when it comes to jump shooting. And I don't think it's close far as shooting. I'm definitely going to give the defensive edge slightly to Ant because he's a bigger body and can guard more people. But overall, the better basketball player is Anthony Edwards in my eyes. You guys comment down below and let me know who you want me to do next. And also comment, what do you guys think? Who do y'all think is the better player? There's no right or wrong answer. They're both great.